Welcome to Magic Hour with Paul Chappell. I'm your host, and today we got a special co-host, Eve Taylor. Say hi. I thought it'd be good to get a female perspective on this special show about Captain Marvel. So right off, what did you think?
I loved it. It's exactly what it needs to be for this universe and how it's portrayed, especially since Disney took it over. It's actually really good. Even compared with the comics, which I have read, it's very well. They did a very good job.
Was it everything that you expected to be as far as a storyline?
I mean, they could have done a few more things, but I think overall what they chose to do was the right way to do it.
Because I was reading about, because I didn't know anything about Captain Marvel. I just didn't read. I'll admit I didn't read too many female comics.
Well, of course not. You're a guy.
Up. Yeah, but I try to read a little bit, on Wikipedia and whatnot. Yeah. And her background is real complicated.
There's so much that they wanted to do with her. And she was that character they could float around and they could have her be what they needed her to be at that time. Because she was binary at one point. She was Warbird. She was Captain Marvel. She was Miss Marvel. There's a bunch of different things she associates with depending on where they have her situated as. Because at one point she was working with the Avengers. She was on Earth working. At another point she was with the X-Men. At another point she was on her own. And she's pretty much becomes whatever it is that they need her to be. And so that's the whole reason with her comics is she can pretty much just jump into anything they have set up and she is exactly what they need her to be. That was her whole intention coming in.
What did you think about Brie Larson? Because see, I had my reservations about her because I'd only seen her in one movie, and it was that Skull Island movie. And I was like, I didn't see much. She seemed too dramatic with a capital D. She's like a very serious actor. And I'm like, these Marvel movies, you need that Robert Downey Jr. flavor. You need to be kind of.
But he was perfect. And even Stan Lee said, he's exactly who I pictured as Tony Stark. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Well, what I'm talking about is the tone of most of these Marvel films. They got all that. They do the little quips and all the little jokes, and I'm like, can she do that?
I think she did really well.
I was shocked at how well I liked her as just like a character.
Well, at first when I first saw, and I think it was this image, I was kind of like, okay, she can pull off the look, and I thought about it, and I was like, she does one of the personalities of Captain Marvel. She does a very good job. She does. And at first I was like, I don't know, and only because I couldn't remember anything that she was in, and I felt really bad about it, and I was like, I just want to see how she plays in this before, because I was like, why are you going to judge her on something else when you have no idea how they're setting up her character to be? Right. So I kind of went in unbiased other than how she looked.
Did you read these reports about these men right activists and
the whole smile thing?
Yeah, I did a video on that, by the way.
I didn't see that, and I don't think I want to, because reason being, starting off, in any of the Avengers posters, are any of them smiling? No, they're not. How in the world are you going to say, oh, she's a woman, she needs to be smiling? Black Widow is a woman also. Is she smiling? No, I don't think she ever cracks a smile except for, I think, maybe in Civil War. And that was just with...
You're right.
It was Civil War, or else it was Winter Soldier. And that was when she was just Captain America trying to keep him secret profile. And he couldn't do it because he's like, I'm not used to this. Yeah. Does she smile? No. Does anybody say anything? No. And she's an assassin. Are you going to expect her to? No. You have no idea. Plus, from the trailer, you could tell she was a military-based person. Do military-based people smile out when they're on the job? No, they don't.
Right. Well, see, I was talking more about this. That was one controversy. the controversy, the more recent one was with Rotten Tomatoes. All these guys, I'm assuming they're guys.
It
Who
probably
knows?
is.
But Rotten Tomatoes has this thing where you can review a movie before it's even out, which I think was stupid in the first place.
Yeah.
And they pretty much bombarded the site with negative reviews because she was on some press junket and she said something about the reporters being more diverse, and that just triggered a lot of these alt-right types, and they've been trying to like just kill this movie from the. And what happened is Rotten Tomatoes, they did away with all those reviews. And even going into this weekend, the audience score was very low compared to a lot of other Marvel movies. Like it was like 30%, and the critical response was like 80. So there was a big disparity there.
Yeah.
And I checked it not too long ago, and then I think it had gone up to 60. So you got this effort by these men right activists, these outright guys trying to kill this movie because it has a female lead. They did the same thing with the Star Wars movies, the Last Jedi. They had the same problem with that. I read they even had a problem with Black Panther, but I don't remember.
I don't see why. I mean, in what I think they said 2020, they're wanting to do a Black Widow movie just with her, and I'm guessing it's probably her origin story.
Yeah.
And they're already saying that's going to be rated R. So are they going to do the same thing? Because it's like, why are you talking down about this movie when that is a major part of that comic universe, regardless if it's a male or female? Why?
Yeah.
Like, to me, that
doesn't make much sense.
It's really to me, it's dumb because majority of the movies are heavily male-based. And does anybody object to that? No, they don't. They're totally fine with it. But as soon as they have a female lead, they admit, oh, no, women aren't supposed to be in charge of that stuff. Why does it matter? It's a person. They're portraying a character that we have imagined about and read about, and now we have a movie about it. Why are you going to be so upset? I don't get that.
Well, I mean, whatever their feelings about it is not doing anything to the box office because it opened with 150 million right out the gate, so it's going to do very well. I mean, it's pretty much a repeat of the success that Wonder Woman saw.
Exactly.
So,
and I mean, we saw all the critics on Wonder Woman. I saw it at least, and I was like, "Why in the world are they gonna bash her? She looks like an Amazon. You're gonna have a hard time with that."
you know, it's funny you say that. I had a problem with her when she, what's her name, Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
When she was first, I think she bulked up a little bit when she was first chosen.
You realize she was pregnant when they were filming that, right?
Yeah, but well, okay.
Okay, exactly.
But when they first chose her and they released a little promotional picture, she looked way too skinny for that role. That's how I felt coming out. And like I said, I had the same feelings coming in this movie because have you watched Vikings?
No.
There's a woman. Her name is Catherine Winnick, I think is her name. And I thought that she should have got the part. I don't even know if they even considered her, but I felt like she looked more like Captain Marvel. But I think they got it right.
I mean, think they did.
I liked her as the character. She saw a lot more personality than I thought they were going to allow, just because she's supposed to be this super powerful.
The personality was perfect, and why I say that is this is like my favorite superhero, not just because it's a woman. She fits my personality, so like I have always enjoyed her. And I actually remember asking a friend, I was like, if you chose a superhero for me, who would you have chose? They're like, oh, Captain Marvel, hands down. You fit the personality. And so watching that movie, I was like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that little bit of humor. I wanted to see her go up again, not following the rules. I love that. That was perfect to her character. Her whole... that is her character. That is who she is. And that's what made me just like, yes, when I watched it. I was just like, yes.
So let's get into some spoilers. We're going to discuss the plot a little bit. So you've been warned.
Spoilers. I've watched
Spoiler
it.
alert
It's
going
great.
up right now. Oh, look. What did you think of this guy, the Papa Smurf? That took me out of the movie a little bit. That guy is Papa Smurf.
He is Papa Smurf. I didn't
Look at him.
I didn't even think about it. It's
And did they ever explain why some of the so starting out, the Brie Larson character, Captain Marvel, she's known as what is it, Bears?
Bears.
She's actually
Carol
with the
Danvers,
Kree in the beginning of the movie, and I missed a few minutes, so I didn't see the very opening. I got lost in traffic.
Where did you come in at?
I came in when they were going in on the ship. They were going in to get their mission debriefing.
Oh, did you see the intelligence?
I saw the Supreme Intelligence. Okay, there's a Supreme Intelligence that
Is
runs...
the artificial life that's on the planet that tells them what they should do and what they're supposed to do. So they control the Kree altogether.
Right. So she meets up with the Supreme Intelligence and they have a conversation about something.
Okay, so before that scene, she's been having these dreams.
Yeah.
And it's later explained in the movie that she's been there for 6 years and she has no memory of herself at all, other than random dreams. And it's just, she says it's the same thing. And she goes to her captain guy. I forget his name. It's like Yo something.
It's Jan Rog. You talking about Jude Law's character?
Yeah, Jude Law's character.
You can just say Jude Law.
So he is sleeping. She wakes him up and they go and spar. He's pretty much telling her, stop letting your emotions control you. You're letting your emotions control you, which means you can't control your power. And later on, you can pretty much tell if they let her emotions go wild. At the end of the movie, you saw what happened.
Right.
That's exactly what they were trying to prevent. They're trying to keep her in check. And so he's pretty much, we're going to there to let them figure out if you're going to go on a mission or not, to prove yourself. You got to prove that you're a Kree warrior. Okay.
So I got in on the mission part, and they go to this planet, and they're fighting the Skrulls, and they're like infiltrating Kree worlds, and they've lost an operative on this planet, and they want to retrieve him before the Kree can break him and get all his intelligence. And they go and, fighting happens and she's captured.
Yes.
It's basically an ambush. The Kree are after her. Basically.
The Skrull after her.
Yeah, the Skrull.
Yeah.
I hate that word. I can't say it. I said when I was watching, I said I'm gonna have a problem saying that. But the Skrulls, yeah, they capture her because she has
the green guys. The green guys.
They know her background. They know who. The green guys. They kind of look like aliens from Star Trek.
They do. Now that you say that. But I don't think originally they were trying to catch her in the first place. I think they were catching her to see what intel she knew, like they did with the spy.
No, I do think they were targeting her because remember the guy that's in charge. He's looking for his wife.
Yeah.
And he knows it.
But he doesn't know that. He even explained that because they were looking in her mind to see if she knew Marvel, if she knew Lawson. Okay. And when they look and they saw, they're like, this is the person we need. We got to figure out, focus on the coordinates.
Right.
So they were.
Well, see, I thought that's why I thought they targeted her because he was trying to get her to focus in her memory.
Yeah.
What they're basically doing is
they're looking for secrets for the Kree. They knew she's a Kree warrior. She had the blue blood. They knew she was a Kree. So they captured her so that they could get intel to figure out how to invade it or how to escape whatever it was, because at the end of the movie they're just trying to find a world.
Right.
So what's happening is they captured her like any attacker would do. You capture the other person, get your intel, and then either you kill them, you set them free, you do whatever you're going to do. But they captured her, looked at her memory, and saw that this was exactly what it was that they needed. So that is why they pinpointed on her and kept her.
Right. So she breaks out basically, and they're already in orbit over Earth, and her little escape pod gets damaged while she's escaping, and it crash lands on Earth into the blockbuster.
Into the blockbuster. I'm not gonna lie, that was.
Oh, you didn't see that in the trailers?
No, I saw in the trailers, but I was waiting to see because all you ever saw was just the building. They didn't show her crashing into it. You see her walking out of it, if I remember correctly.
No, I think in one of the trailers they showed her that she's falling out of the sky and she crashes in the blockbuster.
That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. But,
in fact, it was blockbuster, and then the security guard. She's like, "Where can I get Radio Shack?" It's like two businesses that are
not around
basically
anymore.
No longer in existence.
Nope. There is one blockbuster left, and they refuse to close their doors. I don't know where. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure there's probably some Radio Shacks too, right?
I think they just closed the one that used to be around here.
Yeah, they closed that one, but
they just closed.
But it was funny that when they showed that he pointed to the Radio Shack, I was like, "Oh my god, I feel so old." Because I remember, boy, I used to want to go to the Radio Shack. They used to have. They used to be
all the toys. They used to have all the robotic.
Yeah, they used to be the only place you could go. Like when computers, personal computers first came out, they were like the only places you could go. And like I remember Tandy. I go look at they had Tandies.
I just remember the remote control cars.
And the Commodore 64s and all that stuff. You could go there. Oh yeah, let's go to the Radio Shack. That was the place, man.
It was Friday night was Blockbuster, though. You went to Blockbuster. You got those movies, and I loved it. Friday night. It used
to be annoying to rewind those movies, though. Remember that?
You didn't get to buy a rewinder? We had one, and I remember it was a little black car. It looked like what is it? Black Knight. The Black Knight car. Mm. It looked like that, and I remember that's what we would rewind them in because it was a pain. So they just stuck it in there.
But I remember we would forget to rewind. They would charge you extra.
Yeah, they would.
That was
how much was it though? I don't remember.
I don't.
You gotta remember there is an age difference between us.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember it was annoying. And then you get those late fees.
Oh.
And then Netflix came out.
I had Netflix when it first came out, and they actually would deliver the DVDs to you. And I remember going to the mail and getting these DVDs out, and they only had a select number online. And I actually got rid of it probably about 2 or 3 years right after that because I was like, I can't do this right now. And that was when it was only like $13. And now it's like everything's online. We got everything.
Yeah, Netflix killed them because Netflix didn't have late fees. It's basically keep it as long as you want. Mm-hmm. When you send it back, we'll send you. You had a little queue. Oh, yeah. You had a little queue of movies you want to watch. As soon as you send this back, we'll send you the next thing in your queue. So you had a actual incentive to send it back as soon as you watched it. So that whole business model is just obliterated. Blockbuster. But so getting into it, she meets up with Samuel Jackson,
Nick Fury,
who's a little bit.
I love it.
They turned into kind of a buddy cop. What do you call them? Cop buddy movie or something.
It was, but it was funny.
Yeah, it was. He was a lot more. They let Nick Fury be a lot more funny than we're used to.
They let Jackson's humor come through a little bit with that. I think they were letting him have a little bit more leeway because you got to think toward the end they allowed him to toughen up, especially when the whole the eye thing.
I didn't like that. I wanted to be some dress. And let's not spoil that.
Oh, come on.
They do explain, if you're watching this, you haven't seen it. They do explain how he loses his eye. And I did not like the explanation one bit.
I loved it because here's my only thing with that. They allow him to build it up 10 times more than what it actually was, and it is perfect toward males.
And he wasn't pissed at all. I would have been so pissed.
He wasn't, because he loved that thing.
No, I did not like that. That was one part of the movie. I was, but let's anyway. So the plot was basically was fairly simple when it came down to it, because basically she figures out that she came from Earth, and that
so she's with the Kree, and she has lost her memory because they're like, well, we found you you had no memory, and so we took care of you and gave you powers, but it's pretty much her trying to remember everything that's happened because she just has nightmares. And so I think it's a great setup to allow this movie to happen, because if she had her memories, she wouldn't have been there. She would have been a prisoner. I mean, the whole story would have been different.
Yeah.
So it's actually a good way to set it up, is to allow her memories are missing, slowly seeing the pieces. It's slowly making sense, looking for one person, trying to figure out what's going on, and piecing it all together. It's a good setup, I think. I really do.
It was a good setup, but what I'm saying is basically, well, don't. Okay, did you have any problems with anything in the movie? Because I'm about to get into something that I kind of had a problem with.
I mean, other than how she got her powers, because there are different setups with how she got her powers.
Well, but
other than
in most of those scenarios, isn't it like from an explosion though?
Yes.
So that was kind of consistent with the comics.
It's kind of consistent, but again, it explains Lawson or Marvel. It has a whole different explanation for that. But I really didn't have a lot of problems, but I'm very okay with how
okay, well, let me get to what I was referring to. So the Kree are after this technology that her Lawson was her mentor was working on, and you find out that Lawson was undercover as a Kree, but she's helping the Skrulls because they don't even want to be in this war. They want to actually move to another part of the galaxy. So she's developing some kind of light speed engine, which I thought was weird. I was like, don't they already pretty much have light speed engines? So I don't see what.
So I see what your problem is with that, but another thing you have to remember, the Kree have a warp engine, but they're only allowed to warp the sectors in which they have been in before. If not, then they have to slow travel. If I remember correctly, that's why they could get to Earth, and it was called C-55 or 56. Yeah. So they were able to go there because they've already mapped out that area.
Oh, okay. So that this technology is supposed to be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I kind of had a problem with what they call a light speed engine. It was like y'all warp everywhere.
Think of it this way: she was trying to make the humans understand because she was a Kree. So she was trying to be like, it's a light speed engine. So she downed it down as much as she could.
Oh, okay.
If you think about it that way. She is a higher intelligence, so she was trying to develop this in secret. It makes sense to call it a really easy name for humans.
I like the fact, now this is one thing I did like, you find out that she was using the Tesseract as a power source.
That is...
And that kind of...
Okay, so here's my thing now that you say that, because my brain's been trying to figure out. It's like, okay, so we have in Captain America, they have the Tesseract with the Red Skull. They lose it in the ocean. Tony's father, Howard Stark,
he
finds it in the ocean. How did she get it on her ship? Because that's my only thing.
She was working for the U.S. government. Undercover.
So you think they gave it to her?
I think they gave it to her to work on as a secret project.
I don't feel like they would, though.
Well, it kind of, but I liked it because it explains how S.H.I.E.L.D. eventually gets it.
Yeah, which I love the fact that
because in the Avengers, they're using it to develop weapons.
So how? Okay, so it's still like they still had it. S.H.I.E.L.D. still had it originally. So then they had to have been working with Lawson to begin with to give her that, because Howard Stark had it.
Didn't Howard Stark kind of create S.H.I.E.L.D. though? He created
with Agent Carter.
Yeah, they created S.H.I.E.L.D. So he may have given what my understanding is he maybe handed over the Tesseract to the U.S. government before S.H.I.E.L.D. was even a thing, and then they used it. They gave it to this scientist to develop this technology, and then through the course of these events, they got it back. S.H.I.E.L.D. got it.
Yeah. Okay. I could work with that.
That's what I think happened. But I thought that was interesting the way they kind of, it's kind of that little explanation that you need between Avengers, between Captain America and Avengers, as to how they got it.
It's actually, again, it's a really good setup, especially with how Shield is and how at the end.
Yeah.
The Avengers Initiative.
Right. I like that. The way we won't spoil that either, but they explain everything. Basically, they explain where Fury came up with. They explain how Fury got the Tesseract. They explain how he got the idea for the Avengers Initiative. They explain how he lost his eye. They explain a lot.
They explain a lot, and I love that.
They explain the pager that he uses at the end of.
Yes, it does, and I was so glad. So glad.
Okay, loophole. Why did he? Okay, he had his pager all this time. He had it since 1996.
1995.
1995. Why didn't he use it when Loki was invading the Earth? And when Ultron was about to drop a rock on the Earth.
First off, if you remember, he was trying to turn off the nukes. Remember?
Yeah.
They were sending the nukes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Fury, he did not think about it. But at the same time...
You're saying he didn't have time.
He didn't have time, but if you also think it's Fury, he wants the Avengers to prove that they can do exactly what it is that he wants them to do. He's trying to prove a point with the government. These people can do it.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that's something Fury would do. He goes, I can do it. I'm not worried. It's Fury. Come on.
And in Age of Ultron, S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of pretty much disbanded.
Yeah.
So he really, I don't know. I kind of was bothered by that, but now that you explain it, see, you've kind of made the movie better for me. I didn't expect that. I like this. Okay.
Well, like I said, it's like I'm really into the whole hero thing. I really love it. It's like I always like Marvel more than I like DC because they get so in depth and there's so many loopholes that you don't even realize until later on. Like they've done with almost every Avenger movie. There's something there that you didn't see before, and they bring it up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize this. And that's what I love so much is there's all these other little things that you don't even really pay attention to, but you know what happened, and then it shows up later, and you're like, there's that again. Okay, interesting.
So was there anything you didn't like?
Anything I didn't like? I'm trying to...
So I'm assuming at this point you gave me a big thumbs up.
I love it. I mean, have we looked at my backpack? I
noticed that.
I was going to say, again, she's one of my favorites, and I think they did her justice. I really do. And I appreciate what they did.
My only other complaint, and this is a small one, this is just the nature of movies today, though. It got a little bit too CGI in the third act. When they're running around the ship.
But you loved it.
I loved it, but at the same time, like, it's the same problem I kind of had with Wonder Woman when they got all that CGI in the third act.
Fighting the god, what's his name?
Yeah,
Ares.
fighting.
She was fighting Ares.
Yeah. So and it's like, can I just see her fight? You know what I'm saying?
You saw her fight.
Well, I saw blowing up stuff, but it was like, I don't know, it just kind of felt a little bit too much CGI. I'm like, okay, but all movies do that. Suicide Squad did that. They always have some mystical being technology. Anyway, then they had Ronan show up, and Ronan was there for like 2 seconds, and he's like,
we're leaving.
Oh, okay, we're getting out of here. I'm like, no, wait a minute, what are you doing? This is Ronan.
No, it makes sense though, because if you think about it, they could have already taken over Earth when they realized that the Tesseract was there.
Yeah.
So it would have been a totally different story.
But
you just don't like the CGI.
It felt like they just brought him in for that punchline, and he was out. I was like, this guy was going to just...
You did hear what he said, though, right? I was like, we're leaving, and he's like, tell them we'll be back like for the desert, the woman. Like
Yeah.
to me, that was
Okay.
hysterical. It's
Yeah,
like-
that was pretty
like
good.
they know, like, oh, we need her. We need her. She's, oh yeah, we need her.
Yeah. And she sends that little warning when she jumps his ship into space or whatever.
Oh, that was
so,
like, I'm coming. I'm gonna destroy all your lives. Which
and,
makes,
okay, what'd you think about the I didn't stay to the very end. I read online. I saw the one, the mid, because they have two little end credits now. They got the mid, what they call it, the mid scene credit, and then the very end credit. I stayed for the mid credit.
The last one was.
It was basically, I read online what it was. It's basically the.
Do you want me to say? Or do you want to know?
Nah, we don't need to say.
Okay.
But we can discuss the first one. The first one, the Avengers, they have the pager.
They have,
and they're trying to figure
They're
out.
trying to figure out why Nick Fury had the pager. It looks weird. It has a weird power source, and it has the red, the blue, and the star. And so they're looking at it, trying to figure out, okay, what is it? Keep resetting it. Keep resetting it. Like, we got to figure out. The power keeps going out. I don't know what's wrong. Turns around. Boom.
Boom.
There she is. I was
says,
like,
"Where's Fury?"
Where's
like they ended. They were like, "Oh!"
And I do like that. If
Perfect setup.
It's a perfect setup, but if you also notice, her hair is longer.
I didn't notice that.
It was longer.
I need to go see it again, just to catch those first 5 minutes.
I will probably go see this 2 or 3 times, just so I can start looking at all the Easter eggs, because I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot that I did not see. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the setup. I loved the way that they were having her figure out her powers.
Yeah.
Because I love the whole thing. You're being emotional, control yourself, and the whole thing that they have going on with her. I love the fact that she finally just stands up and is like, let me be me. And that.
Well, they also had that little chip on her neck.
But that's the thing.
They were actually controlling her the whole time.
Exactly.
And then she just tears it
off.
off.
She tears it off, and that is her being her. And finally, like she said, I've been fighting with one arm behind my back this whole time. Right. And then just.
So I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Endgame, because it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be.
When she fights Thanos, they go back in time or whatever. They're going to go back in time. They have to. It's the only way. And she's going to fight Thanos, and it's going to be.
There's so many. There's so many things. So many things. There's so many.
All right, well, we're over the 30-minute mark, so I got to.
No.
So that's all we pretty much got. We giving it 2 big thumbs up. Go see it right now.
If I had 2 more arms, I'd give it 4.
Captain Marvel in a theater near you, and that's all I got for today. I'd like to thank my sponsors. And go ahead and give us a like if you enjoyed this review, and we will see you when we see you. Thanks for watching.